Hello board gamers, so here we are for a tutorial on how to set up a PlayStation 1 emulator using only your Android device. So a quick disclaimer so that we can keep this video on YouTube. You need to have your own PlayStation 1 console and your games to be legally backed up for the files that we need to use for this emulator. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna say what to search. At least I'm gonna show what to search and how to download them without sharing the links and how to obtain them directly. So let's get started. So first of all, you open your Play Store and search for DockStation. I have already searched for it earlier because I'm setting up some videos for you guys. You go to DockStation, open the first result with the icon of a dock, and developer is Stanzac. So you click install. This would be a quick install. It's just 7 megabytes. So once it's installed, you go home, you click your browser, and you search for this one. Okay? So there are two things there. What I'm saying is that you click the one with the first link, and then you click the fourth item or scph1001.bin. That is what we need for BIOS files. So for PlayStation 1 games, you just go search this one on Google. What I suggest is going to any of those links. Just make sure, be wary of ads, or if you're using Brave browser, usually it would block ads. So going to those sites would be very good. And yeah, if you're new to the emulation scene, I suggest you just go to this site. Okay, but there are other sites that I usually frequent. That one, that's a good site to go to. I hope we made that clear. If you want, you can go back and post the video and look for the site that I typed and then it's shown. Then once those things are downloaded, you can open DockStation. It would ask you to set up. Next, I usually leave everything at default because I'm playing on a phone screen and it's not as big as my monitor, and not all devices are capable of running upscaled games. Even if it's just a PlayStation 1, it would still take some resources to upscale those games. So for the sake of the video and being able to help most users, those who don't have high-end phones like me, because I don't have a high-end one, I just leave all these things unchecked or by default on how it is supposed to be set up. That comes when you first downloaded the emulator. So just click next. You would be asked to import BIOS. So the BIOS file you downloaded would be here. For me, I sort my files and games in one folder. So just tap your BIOS file. Every file explorer is different from phones. For some reason, that's how mine looks like. So tap the BIOS. It would detect it. So once it's there, you click next. So game directories, I also have my game setup. from the site that I've said, but these games I still legally own, and that's why I don't download much games. I only play what I own. So tap allow access to the folder you where you save your files or your games. But for me, I save it on a BSX folder on my memory card. So I click allow. You can see that you would be successful if you can see your folder here. Now click next. It would be completed. So there are some things that I would like to set up first. You can see there, those are the games that I have. But first, let's set up some things so that we can play uh, on how we want to. So these are the some of the features of this emulator. You can, if you want, you can start BIOS. This you can start the BIOS here. You can show your disk, playlist, some executables if you have some. But for Android, we don't have those kinds of stuff. So I just stop the games. You can click start file or start BIOS. If you start BIOS, you'll just see the PlayStation 1 boot screen, and then you can manage your memory card from there. So let's show that one. For the first time, it would compile the pipeline. It would You would think that it would freeze, but it won't. I usually play with an external controller, a Bluetooth controller, but for now, for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna show the on-screen controls. So here you can see you can browse your memory card, but since it's a new emulator, it doesn't have any, and it would create automatically a memory card for uh, every game the way it's set up by default. So we can click exit game for us to go back to the main menu, and we can go for settings, our controller, or let's go for the app settings. I left this on by default. The fast boot skips the PS1 BIOS, and if you want to and boot straight up to the game, if you want to see the PS1 BIOS every time you start it up, you can uncheck the fast boot for you to have a console experience. Load patch codes. So usually patch codes I think can be downloaded automatically. I know I have some for the games I play here on my phone. But here you can see you can expand to cutout area. You can set your orientation. By default, I can use landscape. So those kinds of things. You can show the system. But I usually just leave this unchecked or by default again because I want just a stock experience. I don't want some things. Don't Usually don't run rewinding. If you go to system tab and scroll down, make sure this is off because for my device, the Huawei Nova 5T, it's very slow or it slows down a little bit, and I don't want those the games I play. So now we have that. Just check everything. Everything is set on default. You can toggle and play with it by yourself. So that's it. So for the memory cards, you can create your own memory cards here. I can share between all games. So if you want to have a single memory card for all of your games, you can do this. This is good for shared between all games for games that have sequels, and their sequels can check for the save games if you have played the the earlier title, for example, I think Suikoden. Suikoden 2, if you have MacDoll, you can transfer them. I don't remember other games, but Suikoden is a game that comes to mind as often. So there, with the default settings, I would just launch a game, and you can immediately play your favorite game here. For me, my favorite game for the PlayStation 1 is from basically the Tomba series or the Tombi series. You can see, and then from the post menu, you can see the load state, the save state, and the toggle fast forward. But if we tap this D-pad icon here, we can set the controller configuration or the touchscreen. So you can set up profiles, set up a per game configuration for if you want a different layout for games. I think Armored Core could be good for it. And I don't know, Tomb Raider if you want to. For me, I would just add some buttons and then move it. So I want the fast forward, the quick load, and the quick save to be available. Then I'll just be moving it since you can see there at the top, and I have some space here at the bottom as of now because I'm using it in a portrait setup. So when we're done there, we can click exit or editor or resize the buttons. Let's leave it that for now. So we can exit editor, you can fast forward it, you can save, fast forward, and then you can load it. So that's it. And let's go. Let's start again. So that's it. Yeah, so for some reason my phone screen is thinking that I've swapped it, so I just need to press back. So you can see the start, the select, and then the analog toggle here. And that's the game. And that's how you set up an Android emulator or a PlayStation 1 emulator for your Android device. So let's pause it so that I won't hear sounds. So that's how you set up our free PlayStation 1 emulator for your Android device. And tune in for more videos regarding how to set up other emulators for free that are available on the Google Play Store that you would be able to download. So for now, that's it. And I hope you have a great gaming sessions and enjoy the games that you would be playing on the PlayStation 1 emulator. Thank you.